Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I'm part of the occupational therapy program at the University of Texas at Tyler. I'll be showing you guys how to ease your body and mind with some homemade hot and cold packs for maybe if you don't have a hot and cold pack at home and you have some very simple, easy ingredients to make these things. So to start, just a general rule of thumb, usually you use heat for joint stiffness, to relax your muscles, so that achiness that you might feel, and to increase the blood flow in that area. It's really good to use after a day or two of exercising and your muscles are sore, or in the mornings when it's cold. Speaking of cold, ice, you're going to want to use it to numb any pain that you might feel. It reduces swelling, reduces bleeding, and it helps with inflammation. So if you have any type of flare from overuse, cold is going to help you with that. Sometimes you might even use both. So if you have tennis elbow, you could put the cold on your elbow, but the heat on your muscles that are affected by that tennis elbow. Okay, so precautions, you always want to be careful. I mean, hot and cold, they're pretty extreme temperatures, and if you have difficulties sensing these temperature changes, you especially want to be careful and check your skin, check that maybe if you can't feel it, maybe someone else can feel it for you, and make sure it's not too hot. You can avoid direct skin contact using a towel or a pillow, or even like thicker layers of your clothes. And based off of Johns Hopkins medicine, they said do not use the heat immediately after an injury, 48 hours after. So we're going to start with a homemade gel pack. It's really simple. You just have a sandwich bag. You're going to have 2 parts water to 1 part rubbing alcohol. I take the rubbing alcohol and I have to pour it with 1 hand, so I opened the bag already. It'll be a lot easier with 2 hands, but you're gonna take that water and pour it in. I did not have the best luck with this and some of it spilled, but it'll still work. You wanna have this ratio to make sure that it'll become a gel-like consistency. Afterwards, it's just straight water like I'm showing right here. And then you're gonna wanna pop that in the freezer. I didn't freeze it completely, but when it comes out, it's gonna be a gel-like consistency. You can kind of see it becoming a gel right here. And of course, when you use it, you can put a towel over your hand or wherever you're gonna place it. It's nice because it's movable and flexible. Okay, this one's super easy. Ice towel. You need a bag that's going to fit your towel. I have just a washcloth right here in a quart-sized bag. You're gonna go ahead and get it wet under a sink or hose, whatever you have going on, and get it nice and wet. After you wet it, you're gonna wanna wring it out because you don't want too much water in there, especially if you want it to be a little more flexible after it freezes. Once you're done, you're gonna put it in the bag just like this. I couldn't do it on camera, but you're gonna pop it in the freezer again. And when it comes out, it's gonna be nice and frosty, and you can use it over and over again, which is really nice. This one's a little crusty. I had it in there for about an hour or so, but 15 minutes, and it'll be flexible as well. Then you can place it wherever you need. I put it on my shoulder and I used a pillowcase to have those extra layers between me. With that same concept, you're gonna take a wet towel and make sure you have a microwave safe plate or container, whatever it is. I'm just popping it into the microwave, and I did a little hyperlapse here because my microwave's kind of slow, but you only want to do it in 10-second intervals. And this is important because a microwave will heat up super quickly, and you want to make sure that it's not too hot on your skin when you're going to put it on. After about 20 seconds, it was just warm enough for me, but if you don't want to use a microwave or you don't have one, you can also use hot water. Even though this one cools a bit quicker, you still want to check your skin. This one's probably my favorite one just because you can do so much with it, and it's reusable, and there's so many different sizes. But the aromatherapy hot pack you're gonna use either some old socks that you have, clean obviously. I have a pillowcase here if you want to use a pillowcase, but in this video I'll be using the socks. I would cut the pillowcase and make it smaller. And you have rice. You can also use beans or sand, but I really like the rice texture, and you can even mix them. And then I have some eucalyptus here just for that relaxation of the muscles, but you can use any other essential oils. This step is definitely optional, but it's a very fun one. You have to be careful with the drops that you put in. Eucalyptus is really strong, so I'd only put 10 to 20 drops depending on how big your heat pack is. Some other good ones and popular ones are lavender or lemon or orange, depending on what your needs are. You can even blend them. Speaking of blending, you're gonna want to mix them all together so that it gets to the bottom of it as well. You can fill your cup maybe halfway, put your drops in, fill it the rest of the way up, and then put more drops on the top. Okay, so I had to film myself doing this because there was no way I could do it one-handed. I tried putting it just straight into the sock, and that didn't go so well, so I had to reset myself and do something different. I grabbed a glass and I kind of used it as a guide. I put the sock over the glass to kind of hold it open for me, and then I was able to have that wide opening right there. Then I could pour it in, and it was still a bit messy just because the cup itself was really wide, but it worked a lot better, I promise. I had to readjust it every time the rice would fill up so I could bring it back to the bottom, but eventually I got it full. If you have maybe a funnel or a cup with a smaller spout, something to control it better, you won't have rice flying around like I did. After a little bit of vacuuming, I was able to get back to what I was doing, which was closing off that sock. So now it's nice and full. You can tie it. It was a little hard to do, and not everyone might have the hand strength to do that. So if it's too full, you can let some rice out, or if you want it to be that full and you want to close it off, you can use a rubber band or a hair tie. I had a hair tie on my wrist, so you can see, super easy, just close it off. Something to make sure that rice doesn't fall out and you have to vacuum it again. When it's all ready, you can use it over and over again, put it in the microwave. I actually put it in for 30 seconds at a time, for the same reason as with the hot towel. You just don't want it to heat up too quickly and burn yourself. Once it's at the heat that you like, you can take it out of that microwave, and the fun part about it is it's super malleable. It's really flexible, so you can put it over your shoulder like I'm about to do right now. Oh, so nice, so comfy. You're gonna want to do it all the time. And that is it. Super easy to make. You can incorporate it in your morning or night routines. If it's super cold in the mornings and your hands are really stiff, you can use the heat pack. Maybe in between study breaks, you can use the aromatherapy heat pack to kind of ground yourself and just sit and relax those muscles. It's also good when you're in a pinch and you don't have a hot and cold pack on hand, and just for overall pain relief. I hope this video was helpful for you. Now I'm gonna sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of my night. Bye guys.